Hi guys, it's Summer, and for my final presentation I will be talking about hiccups, their treatments, the severity of them, what causes hiccups, and does it mean that something else is actually wrong. So hiccups are medically known as a diaphragm flutter or a singultus. At one point in time in your life, I'm sure you have experienced a hiccup. If you're like me, they can get a little harsh. I just like to scream out in frustration. Mine normally lasts about 10 minutes and it's extremely frustrating. So what exactly causes hiccups? Are there treatments, preventive measures to take, or are they a sign that something else is actually medically wrong? So for this presentation we are going to discuss the amazing phenomena, hiccups, the treatments, and the preventive measures you can take. So what is a hiccup? A hiccup is a brief and involuntary contraction of the diaphragm muscle. Irritations of the nerves that extend from the back of the neck to your chest causes a hiccup. Many conditions can cause the irritation. Excuse me, I just had a hiccup. And results in a hiccup, including eating too fast, which is exactly what I did before I came here, which is probably why I have them now. Swallowing air, chewing gum, and sometimes smoking will actually cause hiccups. Sometimes it can even be a sign that something else is actually wrong. One of my friends had a case of hiccups that lasted over a period of several days and she couldn't get rid of it, so she went into the doctor and he prescribed her something, but he told her, he was like, if this continues, you need to just monitor it because it could be a sign that something else is actually medically wrong. Most doctors believe that it's actually a sign that it could be a stroke or lead to brain tumors. So sometimes they will have to prescribe actual medication, or sometimes even something a little more severe than that, or more serious than that. So hiccups rarely are cause for concern, but if they do become frequent, chronic, or persist more than a couple hours, or if they affect sleeping patterns, interfere with eating, shortness of breath, spitting up blood, obviously you need to go see a doctor. So we established, that hiccups are kind of inevitable and everyone kind of has them. But what are kind of some remedies that you can do to kind of prevent them or get rid of them? So a lot of people go to smelling salts. That's something that has been used for centuries. I know my mom is always, like giving me essential oils or something. If your stomach hurts, you need to get this or this. And she has actually given me some essential oils for hiccups. I think it may be cedarwood or tea tree or something like that she has tried to get rid of them. I don't think it necessarily worked, but I didn't tell her that. Other things that have been used is, as ironic as it sounds, drinking plenty of water. In the case of my case, drinking too much water too fast can cause hiccups. However, some people claim that drinking water does prevent or get rid of hiccups. Another one that is holding your breath. I think that may cut off your oxygen, so I'm not necessarily sure how that would work. There's no necessarily medical or scientific reason behind why people say to hold your breath. It's never necessarily worked for me. It just makes it even worse. But for my little sisters, they seem to think that that's the best way to cure a hiccup. Another one is just frightening somebody to get rid of hiccups. So when I was a little girl, I would get hiccups really bad and my brother would be like, okay, you stay here and I'll run around the corner and I'll come out and scare you when you're not expecting it. I'd be like, okay. So I would have hiccups and I'd round the corner and he would pop out and try to scare me, and sometimes it works, but for the most part I was like expecting him to scare me, and so I don't think that necessarily got rid of the hiccups because I wasn't scared. So depending on the severity of the case of the hiccup, most of the times you can just use these at-home remedies. It's nothing serious, just little stuff little kids do that they say that works, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. but if the hiccups are pretty severe, you probably do need some kind of medical treatment. So what is normally prescribed by doctors is Thorazine, which is an oral application that you can go in and get a prescription for, and you do have to be treated for that. Other things that people do is go in and get acupuncture, which is kind of interesting, but a lot of people claim that that works really great. Another one is hypnosis. So there was a case that I think it was the longest lasting case that a guy had hiccups, and I think it was 24 years if I remember right. And one of the things he had to do was go and he tried to get hypnotized, and it actually, I think it worked for a while, but he did have to eventually have surgery, and that's another way that people go, and if the case is severe enough, people do go and get surgery. It isn't necessarily suggested, just simply because it's so rare and it could potentially mess up some things. However, some people have had to go to that. So in this presentation, we've kind of discussed, the hiccups, the different treatments that are available to subdue them and things. There are numerous home remedies to get rid of hiccups, like the ones that we've suggested. And I also forgot, a lot of people actually try pulling on their tongue really hard, which that kind of sounds painful, and I'm not necessarily, I want to try it. However, like I said, when you're desperate enough, I'm sure people would like to try anything. So the prognosis for hiccups is good. For most people, hiccups usually tend to stop themselves with no lingering effects. But a case of hiccups can be a serious thing, but thankfully there are treatments available for that. For most people, hiccups go away on their own with no ill effect. However, if they do last longer than 3 days, it is recommended to go see a physician or go talk to someone, because if the hiccup is serious enough, it may result in speech impediments, eating disorders, sleeping disorders. So hiccups can cause social embarrassment also, and distress. A lot of the times, like I said, my friend had it for a while, and she was very frustrated because it hurts. It's the contraction of the diaphragm. So so that was my presentation over hiccups, just a general overview of it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all learned something out of this presentation, and I do look forward to hearing y'all's presentations.